Okay, this is a basic rundown, bare minimum of how we do specifications. This is just a garden style job. All these Word files are copies of copies of copies of copies. Everything's already preordained and pre-filled out. What you need to do on any job when you're doing specifications is to run through all these spec sections and then add or remove the sections that you need that are specific to your job. For example, like if I'm using zip sheathing, versus standard OSB with Tyvek sheathing, I need to make sure I go on in here and either have the zip sheathing or have the Tyvek and make sure the zip sheathing isn't mentioned anywhere in my spec, right? Gypsum underlayment, make sure that you've got, if you're using the Maxon sound attenuation dampening set, you have the gypsum underlayment specification that works with that. All those kind of things, whether or not you're using granite countertops or plastic laminate countertops, you need to change your specs to match the job that you're doing. Okay. From there, it's just a matter of titling your job, getting your headers right so that they match the job. And another thing you need to do is coordinate the spec headers and the index of the specs with your structural and MEP. To that end, one of the first things I do weeks before the job's set to go out for permit, I get an index together, I get the right spec header, name of the job, job number, location of the job, and I send this off to the structural and MEP engineers so that they know that they're supposed to, one, match the header, and two, update the indexes for their specs to match what they send you. Here, the permit date, I know it's going to be September 2nd, 2021, so I'm going to fill that in now. I know that a lot of the rest of that index has been filled out. One thing I can check real quick, you need to have your sheet numbers right as well. So, for example, this geotechnical report I know has 27 pages. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back into that table of contents, for example, and I'm going to change it from 33 to 27 pages on that geotechnical report. It's fairly important that you get this right. It's a very big document. You want to make sure your index matches what you're actually providing. From there, the three main things that I fill out are kind of the cover sheet, the drawing index, the summary of the job, and then other little things, right? I make sure the geotechnical report data matches the actual geotechnical report for this job. I make sure that the cover sheet index matches the signature page, which we always keep on there for in case the job ends up becoming HUD. Segmental retaining walls, I go in here and make sure that it says, for this job, I know it's in Kentucky, so I want to make sure it says state of Kentucky for the segmental retaining walls. That's usually most of what you need to pick up on. A lot of it from there is just little tiddly stuff. So I'm going to go run through it real quick here, kind of show you where I get some of this information. The trick to it, more than anything, with specs is to have the cover sheet already filled out. That's usually a big help. Most of everything that you need is already, as long as the cover's right, the specs are going to be right. That's the really nice thing about it. So again, change your date, change the name of the spec, still in Louisville, Kentucky, still us, design architect is still the same, owner is still the same, contractor, let's see, we do know the contractor. In fact, if it's the same address, should probably implement a little bit of C and P. There we go. Okay. Thought they were incorporated, but that's alright. One of the nice things about this is that you can use this as an opportunity to double check some or all of what you've put in on the cover. Sometimes this can be a good litmus test, which is rather nice. KPFF. Okay, that looks correct. Ooh, can't type today. Okay, that takes care of my cover sheet. Table of contents, I've already kind of walked through that. Drawing index. The only thing I do here is change the date to match what will be the permit date. Okay, let's pull this up real quick. Soil investigation was done by Asher. Yep, that is correct. August 3rd, 2021. Okay. Got that taken care of. Alright, summary. Okay, this again is just all filling in the blanks. Then take a quick pause, fill it all in, and then come right back. Okay, filled out all the names for the consultants again in a different format. Work consists of, this is where you just go to, again, if this is filled out correctly, this has 168 units in 7 buildings, and they are all 4-story with a clubhouse, pool house, yep, and brick. Very good. That's okay, that one's done. Alright, and let's see, from there, we don't have, let's see, okay, signature page. Don't really need a signature page, but since we're here on this one, we might as well go ahead and add it. And this is very simple to do. All you need to do is copy all those lines in. And if this was a HUD job, I'd have signature lines basically for everybody. Okay, that's it. That's just the absolute bare minimum rundown of specs. What I do to change the headers, I'll do one spec header, and then I'll run a little program that I can pull up for you here. I believe may or may not be showing up this little guy, and I don't remember where I got this from. It's like $25 online, but add headers and footers to multiple documents. It's sort of self-explanatory. You clear the existing header, you put in, and you just use it in another drawing and pull that header from that drawing that you want to use, and it just populates all 100 specs for you. From there, things get a lot a lot easier. So, for example, all you would need to do, especially if you have Bluebeam software, you get the rest of the specs from the rest of the engineers, you add them to this, you make sure it's all in numerical order by name, make sure that that matches the index, select everything, say combine files and review or whatever Bluebeam you've got, and it will work. It will take all the Word documents and convert them for you and include all the existing PDFs. It'll stay in order and it'll make one big PDF spec book for you. And that's it. That's all you need to know.